Ingraham knows how to spend money, doesn't he? The Bahamas is facing a record $4 billion in debt, a gigantic bill for our children and grandchildren. And last night in Port Charlotte, he spent tens of thousands more hoping a party would distract people from a truly terrible deal, a deal that stinks, and we all know the BTC deal stinks to high heaven. It stinks because he's giving away 51%, that is control to a foreign company, and not just any foreign company, but Cable and Wireless, with a history of trouble in the Caribbean. From the start, when Bahamians were told they need not apply, this process has not been transparent. Ask yourselves why Cable and Wireless has still not been asked to place a real business plan into the public forum. Ask yourselves why this company is being sold for less than its assets are worth, and in accordance with our own advice, not just less, but hundreds of millions less. It stinks. It does not pass the smell test. I had to laugh when the Prime Minister spoke about Stephen Rose watching the Nassau rally on television in Acklands Island. The fact is that it is only possible for Stephen Rose to do that because BTC, under my government, invested in a fiber optic cable system that links the entire Bahamas.
That's right.
So you see, the PLP believes in competition, in privatization, in a modern BTC. But his way, Ingram's way, is not the way. The FNM likes to talk about blue water. But here's the most important thing about blue water: 49%. That's how much my government was willing to sell. 49%. The BTC deal today with Cable and Wireless is for 51%. Just 2 little percentage points. But they tell you everything you need to know about the difference between our parties and the deals we make. This government is selling a Bahamian asset to non-Bahamians. We would have contracted for foreign expertise in telecommunications, but kept control of a strategic asset in Bahamian hands. All the technological advances the FNM is talking about can happen even at 49%. Selling 51% represents a grand betrayal of our patrimony, of our rights. The FNM says this is the best they can do. Well, we tell them today, your best is not good enough. It's not even close. As for rates going down, we'll believe it when we see it. I haven't heard Cable and Wireless echo that promise. Maybe rates will go down, but right before the general election. But I don't see any guarantees about what will happen the day after the general election. Today, I'm calling on the FNM members of Parliament. Come on now, show some courage. Do the right thing. You know in your hearts this deal stinks. Your constituents, the people you're obligated to represent, they know it's a bad deal. Stand up to Hubert. Stand up for one soul. Show some courage. I remind you of the lines from a famous song. How many times, and I quote this song, but how many times must a man turn his head and pretend that he just does not see? The people of the Bahamas will be watching this vote carefully. They're going to be looking to see which member of Parliament has the guts to do what's right. Anyone who watched the Prime Minister last night waited and waited and waited. They heard a lot of boasting and talking big, but they never heard anything about the desperate economic situation facing many Bahamians, especially those in Grand Bahama. They never heard about no food on the table for many. The power bills so high that many homes have been in darkness for months. The many children taken out of private schools and the many more who cannot go to college. They never heard about crime. All those parents whose children have suffered because this government chose to remove the police from our school campuses, they never heard about those things. Today, my heart goes out then to all Bahamians who were hoping the Prime Minister would have addressed the issues. But they heard more of the same. Blame the PLP, boast about roads, bridges, and beaches. But I've come to say with my colleagues that roads, bridges, and beaches cannot feed the poor, nor house the homeless, nor can it stop crime, nor turn on the electricity. We were in Grand Bahama just a few days ago. The people in Freeport must be flabbergasted today. And for that matter, the people of all of Grand Bahama and the Bahamas. There was nothing for them. Thousands, arguably, turned out to our rally on Friday last. The Prime Minister was clearly shaken by what he heard from Grand Bahama. We choose to do that, and we did it because we knew we wanted to go to the heart of his support, right into his backyard, and shake his foundation to the core. Thousands turned out to listen to our message. Among them were civil servants in their scores. It is important for us to say yet again, unparalleled suffering is taking place in Grand Bahama. And while it is taking place, they threw a big party on Clifford Park. As we travel the country, we see a lot of excitement about the new generation of leaders in our party. A new generation with new energy and new ideas, ready to bring the Bahamas into the 21st century, ready to have a government that believes in what its own citizens can accomplish. Thank you.